Hey guys, welcome back to the Flying Dollar Motorsports channel. My name is Jordan, and today we're doing a little upgrade to the little red Corvette. Specifically, we're talking steering wheels. Now, as you can see here in the video, this is the original black plastic steering wheel that I had on the car. It could be the original one, could be replaced. I don't know for sure, but it's got some cracks and, lots of dings and dents from rings and stuff, whatnot touching it over the years. Now, ever since I was a kid, part of the things I loved about the art of cars was back in the day when they had wooden steering wheels, like the Mustangs with the little rivets or the screws all the way across, and the Ferraris with the, and the guys had their leather gloves, and you'd watch them racing and they'd have the wooden steering wheel. I just thought that was a beautiful piece. So for Christmas, I managed to receive this, convince somebody to purchase this for me. This is a Scott Drake Corso Feroce 15-inch wheel. This is an all-wood wheel, and I got it from Holly Performance. I don't know if they own Scott Drake now. I think Scott Drake was originally known for Mustang parts, but this is, a standard GM wheel, fits most of the 60s GMs. But I got to tell you, this is a beautiful piece. Like, you look at this thing, and the wood on it is perfect. There's not a flaw or anything in this. There's no there's no knots in the wood. There's no nothing. It's beautiful. It's got the the finger grips here. It's got the same 3-spoke design that they'd had in 1963, that this was new for 63. And where it's got this conical kind of recessed area here, they didn't have that in the C1. It was a flat plane type. But I did say it's a 15-inch wheel. That is technically not correct. This is a 16-inch wheel. All 63s came with 16-inch wheels. And none of them came with wooden wheels. They all came with a plastic colored wheel in the early 63s, I should say, to match the interior. So I think they had red, blue, black, obviously, and I believe they had a saddle color. Towards the end of the 63 model year, they started to introduce an imitation wood grain. It was a plastic wheel, but that's what they were moving to for 64, and they started to introduce those late in 63. There's no defined date, I don't believe, so you might see them, but those are imitation. This is a real wheel, so it's not quite correct, and you can see it's just a touch smaller. Besides my love of the wooden steering wheel, this does give me an extra, almost 6'2", so this gives me an extra inch underneath to get my leg in and out of the car, because this does not have a tilt steering wheel, so it's a little tricky for me to get into. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to install this. And if you want to use it for a how-to video, if that's what you're here for, I'll try to do my best to show it to you. But honestly, I'm just kind of vlogging what I'm doing to the car. So let's get started. First thing is the horn button. This just pops right off. I've seen people do it with screwdrivers and stuff like that. Because these are $80 for this tiny little plastic piece, I'm going to use this little plastic interior tool I got from my Harbor Freight. But honestly, you could probably just pry it off if you were really good with it, but I'm going to try to pry it off with this. Yep, see, it just pops right off on your stamp here. And you can see I probably do need to replace this because this doesn't match the wheel. You can see it's got a couple little cracks in the resin there. I've seen worse. This one's not terrible, but they only made this design, I believe, in 63 and 64, so they are kind of expensive. And this certainly does not do the wheel any justice. The wheel is just going to be the nicest piece in the interior, honestly. I know that probably a lot of you guys, if you're NCRS people or you're originality freaks for the Corvettes, I know a lot of you out there are yelling at me, oh, it didn't have wood steering wheel and it's not original. I know. But you know what? Neither is my Hurst shifter or the hydraulic lifters or the roller rockers or the side pipes that are on it, because they didn't come in 63. I don't care. I'm not a purist. I respect purists for what you do. But I want to have something that is, was my dad's and now it's mine, and, kind of making it what I want to be with respect to what he wanted it to be too. Okay? Okay, so after you pop off the horn button, you just go ahead and take out the horn stand here, which is just these 3 Phillips head bolts. And next you're going to go ahead and take out these 6 bolts that mount the steering wheel, or the screws, I guess you should say. And these are kind of an odd, they're not exactly an an Allen head, but they kind of resemble that. But you can get a small flat head in here, and you can use it to turn them. Yeah, that's what it looks like with your wheel off. Put this down here. Now, one of my screws here was a little stripped out, so I had to switch to this square-headed type bolt. It worked a little bit better. I probably should have started with that from the beginning, but I honestly forgot that I even had them. So, and I just lost it. Oh, there it is. I didn't even know I had them. I don't even know what they're for. So, but they work a little bit better. So, if you have something like that, go ahead and use that first. And then we'll go back through and we'll put our horn back on here, and you can see the little horn button here pops in and out. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but this goes on top of that. You just align that like that. So that's what pushes your horn button in. Put your screws back in. Yeah. And the final touch, putting the horn button back on. Now make sure when you do put this back on, you orient the steering rungs the correct way. They should be at 9, 3, and 6, not 9, 3, and 12. Because it will go on that way, but that's not the way it's supposed to go. And obviously when I'm done with this, after the first couple drives, I'm going to go back and make sure that these bolts are tight so that my steering wheel doesn't fall off in the middle of driving. But it's as simple as that. I think it looks great. I've always wanted a wood steering wheel, and now I have one. If you like what I'm doing, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.